So today we got an absolutely massive announcement in the video game industry, in the video game world, more specifically in the FPS genre and the search and destroy genre that I think some people are going to say, maybe accurately, maybe inaccurately, or whatever, Counter-Strike, Valve, and Counter-Strike fans should potentially be worried about. There's a new game on the block coming very, very soon that could potentially be another Counter-Strike killer. Now, obviously, we have heard the term Counter-Strike killer a million times before, and it's never reigned true so far, but should CS fans be worried this time? That's what we're going to be talking about today. But of course, first, I want to mention my cash trading business. If you guys are looking to sell any of your CS2 items, tournament, cold hard cash, or crypto, or any other payment method, definitely hit me up over on Twitter. It's going to be the first link in the description below. We're buying pretty much anything and everything for the right price, but obviously we like to get those bigger deals done. So if you have any knives, gloves, high tier skins, whatever that you're looking to turn into cash and cash out on safely, effectively, efficiently, not worried about getting scammed or anything like that, hit me up. And of course, by selling me, you're helping support me, my channel, and my content, which I would appreciate a ton. With that being said, let's get right into this today. So here is this huge announcement. Ballistic hits early access December 11th. Round by round, tactical FPS, 5v5. Get a whole new perspective and get all the details on Ballistic here. So let's click into this. Obviously, the crazy part here is this is from @FortniteGame, the official Fortnite Twitter account. And you can already see a lot of the CS community is tapping in. OnlyPixel saying, y'all got cases. Arrow saying, all right, I've seen enough. I'm quitting CS and going to Fortnite. Counter-Strike is done now. It's going to be search and destroy, all these different things. So let's see what this article has in store. Fortnite goes first person with Ballistic, a tactical 5v5 shooter in early access December 11th. So not only are they coming out with an FPS, it's going to be a search and destroy 5v5, a direct competitor to Counter-Strike, a direct competitor to Valorant as well. Perspective is everything. Welcome to Ballistic, a new first-person Fortnite experience launching in early access on December 11th with ranked and unranked. Ballistic is an adrenaline-filled, round-based 5v5 competitive game mode where strategy, tactical teamwork, and individual prowess are essential for victory. First person full impact. What does early access mean for Ballistic? Ballistic is launching with the Skyline 10 map, a starting set of weapons, and a limited number of items. Adjustments will be made beyond launch based on player feedback in addition to major updates such as new maps, weapons, and features. Ballistic is launching in early access with Skyline 10 map, with more maps to come in the future. Again, here's some screenshots and stuff in it. Again, a lot of this has the exact same feel as a lot of Counter-Strike and Valorant maps and stuff like that. I can see a lot of this stuff being in either Valorant or Counter-Strike like almost directly. Obviously, the graphics are going to be a little bit different. The gunplay is going to be a little bit different. The feel is going to be a little bit different. But again, this is a competitor at the end of the day. Ballistic is a no-build mode. So again, we're not going to be building skyscrapers or anything like that. No, kids instantly building a whole house just as soon as you see them. No stupid stuff like that I think a lot of people think would ruin the game. Obviously, it was unique. It differentiated Fortnite, but I think a lot of people have found a lot of fun in no build and stuff like that, and there really wouldn't be much of a place in this in the 5v5 search and destroy format. I'm sure you could do it and it would be different, but then you wouldn't necessarily be directly competing or stealing players away from Valorant and CS either. All save presets from your locker will carry over into Ballistic, which supports existing Fortnite outfits, back blings, kicks, wraps, sprays, and emotes. Pickaxes, contrails, instruments, vehicles, and jam tracks are not going to be used or supported. At launch, Ballistic will be available on all platforms and regions where Fortnite is supported, with the exceptions of South Korea and Russia. We're going to be working to making Ballistic available in both regions, and we'll provide an update when we have news to share. In Ballistic, players are sorted into two teams at the start of the match, attackers and defenders. Attackers aim to plant a reality-tearing rift point device at one of the two sites on the map, while defenders do their best to thwart the device from being planted and detonated. Again, some of the common criticisms of stuff like Counter-Strike, and maybe why some people say it hasn't been as big in the collegiate scene or been able to make it as widespread or whatever, is because they actually use like terrorists and counter-terrorists and bombs and stuff like that, stuff that's maybe not as friendly or kid-friendly or whatever. So being able to use different terms, some people see that as an advantage for stuff like Valorant and Fortnite or Ballistic or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really read into that too much, but it is something interesting that people have noted with Valorant in the past. There are no respawns in Ballistic. A round is over if the rift point device explodes or either team is fully eliminated. After 6 rounds, players swap sides, giving defenders a chance to be attackers and vice versa. The game is over when a team has won 7 rounds total. You'll start the game with a Ranger pistol and 800 credits. In Ballistic, credits can be earned from scoring eliminations, planting the rift point device, and spent within a match at the beginning of every round on additional items and weapons to bolster your chances of success. So, I mean, obviously, I don't need to read much of this to like CS players and Valorant players. This is exactly the same format as those games. Search and destroy. You buy weapons at the beginning. You play. You get 1 life. All that good stuff. We know it. We love it. It's a tried and true format. It's a tried and true formula. It's been insanely successful with Counter-Strike and Valorant. Obviously, it's a very, very fun and addicting game mode. It's fast-paced. It's exciting. Your deaths matter. The kills feel very, very great. But survive a round and you'll keep all your gear and shields for the next one, minus any consumable items you've used. You can drop weapons, smoke grenades, and flashbangs at any time for your teammates and pick them up from eliminated players. The Rift Point device takes 45 seconds to detonate after it's planted. If it's successfully defended, you'll want to move a fair distance away or run the risk of being eliminated in the device's blast radius. Getting eliminated by the blast means losing any gear you may have. You can check the scoreboard at any time during a Ballistic match to see how you and your teammates are doing and to know what weapons and items your teammates are working with. Assault rifles are the bread and butter. Shotguns are your best friend when it's time to get up close. You have submachine guns. You got obviously snipers. You got pistols. You got smoke grenades. You got flashbangs. You also have flex gadgets. Select the proximity mine to place a damaging mine down on the floor or floor, wall, or ceiling to surprise an unsuspecting enemy. They can be picked back up and placed again and will explode if shot. Great for booby trapping sites when defending. The bubble shield allows for throwing down a temporary protective bubble that's impervious to bullets and projectiles such as grenades. You have the recon grenade. Gadget marks an enemy detected nearby where it's thrown. You got the frag grenade, and then you got the impulse grenade as well, disruptive tool that launches the enemies and allies away. Again, they're going to have those unranked and ranked modes. And yeah, it's pretty crazy that they made this announcement. Now, again, some people are going to say Counter-Strike should be very, very worried. And I don't know if it's true. Now, hey, ultimately, at the end of the day, it doesn't seem like we have like agents and abilities and stuff like that. So it's maybe more so a competitor with Counter-Strike than Valorant, but also people are going to say it's got the cartoony style. It's going to be maybe more based around items and stuff like that, where CS is just going to have, that tried and true gunplay. And Fortnite's never going to be able to replicate the gunplay of Counter-Strike and stuff like that. But also at the same time, Fortnite and Epic are very, very responsive devs. They add a lot of updates to the game. They are not afraid to try crazy new stuff, where sometimes Valve has been a little bit slow or hasn't really always given the community what they needed. Obviously, anti-cheat is going to be an absolutely massive thing. At the same time, Fortnite has really resonated with like younger generations and younger audiences. Maybe they know how to build up a fan base and player base better, but also at the same time, Epic has had some flops as well. It's not like everything they've touched is automatically turned insane. I don't know. If you are Counter-Strike, obviously you just had the release of CS2 very recently, which didn't go all that well, and maybe people are a little fed up with you at this point. But also at the same time, like Oni says, if they don't have cases, if they don't have skins that are worth money, if they don't have anything if they don't have a market where people can collect and trade and make money and profit and invest in all this stuff, they're probably not getting people away from Counter-Strike anytime soon. But ultimately, at the end of the day, I do think more competition in this space is really, really good. I think if Valve actually has to do more things and is pushed by other companies to make their game better, to make better changes, to keep the game updated, to be responsive to the community's wants and needs, to actually make a better anti-cheat and all that stuff, that ultimately at the end of the day is going to be better for Counter-Strike. Now, do I think Fortnite is going to be able to steal away a ton of players from Counter-Strike or CS2 or anything like that? No, I really don't. I'm not too worried about this. Again, we see a new Counter-Strike killer every like 6 months or year or something like that. Even recently, we saw Steam's own game, Deadlock, that was like going to be the new Counter-Strike killer or whatever. And hey, right now it's 24-hour peak is 31,000 players. And I really don't think Deadlock is up next. I don't think, that this is going to be a game that takes over Counter-Strike or anything like that. But I do think that in a lot of ways, we've heard that this game is taking away resources from Counter-Strike. It's taking away dev time and Valve, company time, management, money, resources, and stuff like that. When I really do think that obviously Valve has an amazing thing with Counter-Strike 2 that is still not a fully fleshed out game, still not a game that everyone is completely happy with at this point, and I really don't like them taking away resources and putting it towards stuff like Deadlock and everything like that. Now, obviously, Valve wants to make more games. They want to work on more projects, all that stuff. That's great. Hire more people. Use more people. Have more people that are actually dedicated to these each specific projects and stuff like that. But I don't know. Obviously, CS2 has been doing very, very well lately. Player numbers are up in November. They're up again in December. We recently hit a peak of 1.573 million players, which is like one of the biggest months of CS of all time. The average players isn't necessarily up massively lately, but the peak players has steadily been increasing. Things are definitely looking really, really good. They've definitely made the game a lot better recently. But yeah, I don't know. We've also seen things like the Shanghai major viewership has been a little bit weak. Obviously, the time zones and stuff has been weird. So I don't know. There's definitely some opportunities. Valve has not been perfect over the past couple of years. There is moves to be made to maybe take away some market share from games like Counter-Strike and Valorant. I don't know if Fortnite's going to be able to do it or not, but this is just the latest project that is maybe going to try to take down Counter-Strike that Valve should maybe be a little bit nervous and worried about. We're going to have to see how that goes. And again, I'm sure at a time right now when a lot of people are not necessarily super hyped up or excited about Counter-Strike and feel like Valve has been slipping a little bit, maybe it's a perfect time for a competitor to enter the market, and maybe Counter-Strike fans should be a little bit worried. But who knows? I don't know. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. Until then. Peace.